Everyone, Sky here to discuss Bohemian Rhapsody, starring Rami Malek, Lucy Bainton, Gwynlyn Lee, Ben Hardy, Joe Mazzello, Aidan Gillen, Tom Hollander, and Mike Myers. I'll talk about them. And directed by Bryan Singer. Now, let's just get it straight into this thing, because it's nominated for Best Picture Oscars. I love the 20th Century Fox logo as it's being played like how Queen would overdub it. And I've got to give credit to the director Bryan Singer, who I'll be talking about in another movie of his called when I get to that series later this year. Just a brilliant job with the music on the Fox logo. I also like how the movie starts with Freddie Mercury, played by Rami Malek, wakes up to start his day, and he also has a bunch of cats, which I found cute, and gets ready for the Live Aid concert, which will come back at the end of the movie, and I'll talk about it then. I really enjoyed the opening sequence. Freddie is from a different country and has a job at an airport putting suitcases and luggage in the sliders at the airport in London in 1970. I really want Rami Malek to win Best Actor as Freddie Mercury, because he sings like him very well. He meets a girl named Mary Austin, played by Lucy Boynton, and I've never seen this actress much, except for the recent version of this movie. But she does fantastic work as well. Freddie goes to a club where he meets a band he follows, and now his bandmates. Brian May, played by Gwynlyn Lee. Again, another actor I haven't seen much of except for this movie. Roger Taylor, played by Ben Hardy, who I'll be seeing again in this thing, in the same series as. And John Deacon, played by Joseph Mazzello, who's mostly well known for playing Tim as a little kid in this movie. And these actors with Rami Malek work very well together, and I really enjoy them as not only characters but as a band, and their music as the band Queen is absolutely excellent. And how and who did name them Queen? It was Freddie, and he named it after his Royal Highness. And I really do like how they explain the origins of the band's name. Remember I brought up where Freddie is from? Well, he's from India, with an Indian name that I don't believe I can say that correctly. Sorry about that. John Reed, played by Aidan Gillen, who I've reviewed a couple of times in the last two of this trilogy. Makes Queen the band we all know and love today, like myself, for example, who I love that band, and I also really like this character, and the actor does a good job playing him, and I like him despite the fact I don't watch this show. Freddie asks Mary to marry him, and that was a sweet moment in this movie, and the band suddenly comes in to save Freddie. Queen has a bunch of tours in America, and I like how many different cities and states they perform in their most popular songs. Ray Foster, played by Austin Powers himself, Mike Myers, is kind of ironic because anybody seen or remember this movie? Because he sings the Bohemian Rhapsody song in that movie, and here he doesn't accept the fact that Bohemian Rhapsody is a 6-minute song, and obviously the best song ever but Myers does a pretty good job with the performance. Shortly after the first time I saw this movie, I watched Wayne's World for the first time, I should say. It's my first time watching it. Sorry to disappoint. And now I still find it ironic that the song that he sang that song in there and plays a character who doesn't like and accept this song. But he's a good character. But I do like that. It was fun. Mary breaks off the engagement with Freddie after he tells her he's bisexual, which is the saddest scene in the movie, but it's powerfully acted by Rami Malek and Lucy Boynton. Freddie grows a mustache and buys a house next door to Mary, so the cats can get a visitation, and the Queen band members have a wife and kids of their own, while Freddy is living a lonely life except for cats. Freddy throws a party at his place, and Paul is Freddy's boyfriend now, and Freddy becomes a bastard for a while, and I think Rami Malek pulls the bastard off very well, and hits on one of his maids after the party, who's a man, and cheats on Paul. And that moment of the film was an interesting sequence. Queen invents the song "We Will Rock You" by doing the bang bang boom that we all know and love, and performs it in Madison Square Garden. And I do love the song. It's on my iPhone, for example. And I really like when they make up the songs. That's when this movie sings for me. Mary has a new boyfriend named David, and the next scene, Freddy fires John just right out of the blue because he's high as a kite without telling the band like he's the boss of them and himself. And those scenes are shot very well. I also love how they invented the song "Another One Bites the Dust" and sing it in one sequence. The scene when the press is asking Freddy questions of his life and past, and I felt they were patronizing Freddy at his most disadvantage, and that scene was a little hard to watch because I care for Freddy, but not when he's acting mean to everyone. Freddy decides to break up Queen by signing a deal with another music company for $4 million. And that scene was very heartbreaking because they're such a good band and they're a family from what they keep saying. Freddy and Paul living in Munich and ignoring everybody's call like Mary or the people from Live Aid. And Mary goes to the house worried about Freddy and leaves him because she's pregnant, and talks him into going to Live Aid and fires Paul for the things he's done to Freddy, and Freddy changes into the good person he is again. And I really like those scenes. They're very well shot, in my opinion. Freddy talks to the guy he calls Miami Beach and tries to get the band back together for one concert in Live Aid, and they reluctantly say yes, and I'm glad they're back together. Freddy finds out he has AIDS, which is how he died in real life, but they don't show it in the movie, and tells the band, and they pray for Freddy to be cured and for Live Aid to go well, which was beautiful. They performed their songs, including "We Are the Champions," as well as the final song with a couple of pickups from Bohemian Rhapsody, and another song I can't remember the name of off the top of my head. But it's a beautiful scene. The way it's shot is beyond magnificent. I love the music video of "Don't Stop Me Now" during the credits. That's why they're such a great band. I'm going to be totally honest here. Now it's time for the rating. I'll give this movie a 9.0 out of 10. I'm very impressed with this movie, and Rami Malek should win Best Actor for this role. This movie sings very well, and the shots are magnificent, and I love when they invent their songs. Maybe the best true story movie about a band or singer ever, in my opinion. So I'd like to thank you guys for joining me, and tomorrow I'll be back with A Star Is Born. And until next time, and the Oscar goes to...